Before we begin, a quick recap of our last video session on convincing sellers to join the ONDC network. We focused on how you, the seller network participant, can effectively persuade sellers by highlighting the expansive opportunities of online business and the array of advantages offered by the ONDC network to sellers. These include streamlined access to a wide range of buyers through a singular registration, complete control over their ratings, ensuring equitable visibility and opportunities for all sellers, the flexibility to operate their business as they see fit, a cost-efficient e-commerce structure, and access to valuable customer data. So, you persuaded your prospective sellers. A few may have decided to join immediately. But there may be many with concerns. Valid concerns too. So how do you address those? That's the topic of this video. Handling seller concerns at onboarding. Well, onboarding sellers takes time and effort. Almost all your prospective sellers will have a list of expectations and concerns. What are these concerns that most sellers have? How do you handle those in the best way possible? Let's find out more together. Concern number 1. A major concern of all sellers is the high platform fee charged by e-commerce platforms, which is a significant loss in margin for them. The seller network participant can alleviate these concerns by highlighting the advantages of the ONDC network. To begin with, tell the sellers how they have complete freedom to seamlessly transition between seller network participants according to their preferred trade terms. When sellers switch between seller network participants, they can retain their hard-earned ratings, ensuring that their reputation remains intact. And if a seller changes a seller network participant, it does not impact the seller's visibility, maintaining their discoverability to potential customers. Regardless of their seller network participant association, sellers will feature on all buyer applications, highlighting relevant products as needed by the buyer. This ecosystem fosters an environment of competitive rates and equal opportunity influenced by healthy market dynamics, which in turn encourages seller network participants to offer more competitive rates. This awareness not only addresses sellers' concerns over high fees, but also highlights the ONDC network's commitment to creating a fair and efficient online marketplace. Concern number 2. Sellers who have sold on e-commerce in the past and left, or sellers who have not worked in e-commerce, both have heard instances of loss due to high returns in their seller community. You, the seller network participant, should educate these sellers about returns and highlight these factors as per the situation. First, make them aware of how different categories have different return rates, and the category a particular seller is interested in selling online may have low return rates. Second, explain the levers which the sellers can use to control and manage returns, such as a high-quality catalog with correct information, dispatching products on time, opting for prepaid orders since they have significantly lower returns than cash-on-delivery orders. A seller network participant can educate the seller on the importance of dispatching complete and correct orders to ensure low or no returns. Also, a seller can opt to make a product returnable or non-returnable. Lastly, the seller can build the cost of return into their margins, so there's minimal or zero loss incurred by them. Concern number 3. In online sales, sellers are mainly concerned about their working capital being stuck for a long time. The seller network participants must define the payment terms with their sellers and then ensure timely payment to their sellers to build trust. The seller network participant may want to de-link its payouts from the seller payouts. Also, you can adopt innovative solutions with sellers such as creating slabs, have faster payouts for high dependency sellers. Also, communicate to other sellers the faster payout advantage for those sellers reaching expected sales volume targets faster. Provide an option of a slightly higher seller fee for earlier payouts. For updated insights, visit the Governance and Policies section on the ONDC website and read Chapter 3. Concern number 4. You must explain to sellers the process for escalation of damages and how responsibility will be assigned between the logistics seller network participant and the seller. Seller NP should highlight the importance of right packaging, capturing images or videos of packaging before dispatch, mentioning on logistics proof of delivery document if a product is received damaged, raising tickets to seller network participants in the defined timelines. Sellers can also build damage costs into their margins over time once they understand the volume of sales versus the damage percentage cases. Concern number 5. In a traditional e-commerce setup, existing platforms may want to push sales of their private labels or sales to specific sellers. Through the ONDC network, with the decoupling of buyer network participant and seller network participant, the buyer network participant cannot give preferential treatment in the search results. It is also forbidden under the ONDC network policy. Concern number 6. The ONDC network will enable sellers to offer promotions, and sellers can decide on the price point as per their business health. Over time, as the sales of sellers build up across different buyer applications and as volumes go up, they can negotiate better prices from their suppliers, improving the margins in the mid to long term. Concern number 7. Will a seller need to spend additionally to improve their search ranking? Unlike other platforms on the ONDC network, every seller has an equal opportunity to be visible to potential customers because buyer network participants are obligated to reveal the logic they use to filter or sort sellers. Therefore, it is not necessary for sellers to invest in advertisements for equal visibility. However, if sellers still wish to do so, they have the option to advertise on any buyer application. With that, we come to the end of this session on how to handle seller concerns when onboarding. We addressed 7 primary concerns of most sellers and how you, the seller network participant, could address them best. But there could be several other concerns. For these, ONDC has created an issue and grievance mechanism to raise issues of sellers through seller network participants. Once you have convinced the sellers to get onboarded and answered their critical concerns, it's time to collect important details from the sellers, so there are minimal operational challenges or delays in the process of onboarding. Know more about this in the next video on collecting seller information at onboarding.